It is 4:30 on WKYT this morning. A man convicted in the death of a Lexington police officer will not be getting out of jail early.
Flooded roads lead to two separate rescues in Knox County, both occurring just hours apart.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. It's good to have you with us on WKYT. Here we are now in the middle of the week in what has been a week of wintry events. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Let's get a look at the latest with the weather happenings with Micah.
Yeah, the good news is we are over with any accumulating snow. However, still a few flakes flying around, especially in northern Kentucky. You can see that coming on through. This is moving east and southeast, so northern zones you will have the best opportunity to actually pick up some of these flakes. Like I said, nothing to worry about out of those. Temperatures are there in the lower to mid 30s. And some temperatures are just above 32-degree readings, so there's some good news for us. Another good part, it will be well above freezing later on this afternoon. I'm going to show you that. Yeah, the flurry chance is here. But boy, are we going to be smooth sailing off into your weekend. I'll have that coming up.
All right, so the big melt is on. Thank you.
A man convicted of killing a Lexington police officer will not receive parole, at least for now.
Glenn Donahue testified during his parole hearing yesterday morning at a prison in Elliott County. A jury convicted him of manslaughter in the 2010 hit-and-run death of Officer Brian Durman, and he's serving a 20-year sentence. Donahue said that he has completed some classes and other programs while in prison, but he said he couldn't talk about the manslaughter case itself.
I have an appeal in right now, so my 14th Amendment right says that I have equal rights and protection of the law, which means that I cannot or should not speak on anything that might later incriminate me.
After a 10-minute discussion, the parole board denied parole for Donahue, citing his lengthy criminal record and the seriousness of the manslaughter case. He will be eligible for parole in 2 years. In a statement, Officer Durman's widow, Brandy, called Donahue a danger to society.
Well, heavy rain and snow the last few days has left some roads in southern and eastern Kentucky flooded out. One man actually found out the hard way how dangerous that can be when he drove right into high water.
First responders in Knox County had to rescue him after the water swept his car into a ravine. They say that wasn't the only rescue that had to be made. WKYT's Garrett Weimer has more.
The road is now closed, and with good reason.
And this sign is always up.
Every drop of rain adds to the pond on the pavement. No surprise, it was a busy day for Gerald Baker and the Knox County Special Ops Response Team. 2 water rescues, just a few hours apart, both at the same spot.
The first incident we had, the gentleman told me that he just didn't realize it was that deep.
Both of those rescues happened here on Manchester Street, and you can see just how high the water comes up. Baker says it's a common problem spot for flooding.
The water normally will not look like it's as deep as it is. It's very deceiving, you know, until you get in it. And then once you get in it and it does drop, then of course, you know, your engine a lot of time will stall out on you at that point.
Baker says his team knows to prepare ahead of weather like this, so they're ready to go when they're needed. He says they have at least one rescue just about every time they get hit with heavy rain. But he says it's almost always avoidable if drivers would just not drive through high water.
If they turn around, and it may take a few more minutes to drive another route, but it's better to do that than end up in the situation these folks end up in.
In Knox County, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
First responders say all 3 people rescued from the 2 cars are doing okay this morning.
High water forced some roads to close in Estill County. A bridge on Red Lick Road was blocked off because water from a creek rose to just a few inches below it. Road crews say the road won't be reopened until the water goes down. The Kentucky River also rose yesterday, coming close to some homes. People who live near the river say they're keeping a close eye on it.
Done a lot of moving out and moving back in. When it comes over that bank there, we start moving. When it starts getting too high, you'll see them going out of here.
A transportation cabinet spokesperson said it will probably take a while for the water to go back down. You can track snow and rain along with the latest traffic with the Weather Plus Traffic app. You can download it for free in the app or Google Play stores.
We're coming up on 4:35 on WKYT this morning, and Kentucky's new Medicaid commissioner claims the cost to run the insurance program will skyrocket in the coming years. Commissioner Stephen Miller said the cost will jump 20% to more than $3.7 billion over the next 2 years. He questions if the program can be sustained in the long term. Former Governor Steve Beshear expanded the Medicaid program, but current Governor Matt Bevin has promised to repeal that expansion.
Police in Bullitt County say they found a 10-year-old child alone in an extremely hot hotel room. Now they've arrested his parents, Kelly Hensley and Jonathan Nauer. Police say an officer patrolling a Motel 6 parking lot saw Hensley looking through a car with 2 young children inside. Police say she claimed she was the children's aunt and she was watching them and a sibling. When police checked on the third child, they say they found the boy alone in a room with the thermostat at 92 degrees. So they say they also found meth in that room. The boy told them he'd been left alone for hours.
State police have arrested a Western Kentucky TV meteorologist and her husband. They're accused of growing marijuana at their home. After receiving a tip, police say they arrested 32-year-old Tori Shaw and her husband, 35-year-old Tyler Smoyer, at their home in Graves County yesterday. Inside the couple's home, police say they found 5 marijuana plants, 6 long guns, 2 pistols, ammunition, and multiple items used to grow marijuana. State police sent us this picture of what they found. Shaw is the weekend meteorologist at WPSD TV in Paducah.
Well, it was designed to make a downtown Lexington Street more friendly for people walking, but the city has put the brakes on a pilot project for Short Street.
Despite the project adding more seating, art, and crossings for walkers, city officials plan to turn Short Street back to the way it was before the project. WKYT's Monique Blair has reaction from nearby business owners.
The pilot program was unveiled in August of last year, but the city already has plans to restore Short Street back to its original design.
Sometimes change is tough, but I thought it accomplished most of the goals the city was hoping to do with it. It definitely made it more pedestrian friendly and walkable downtown.
Lexington's Environmental Quality and Public Works Commissioner Dowell Hoskins Squire says the city is forced to discontinue the project due to the ongoing construction along Upper Street and the upcoming courthouse renovation, saying it will complicate the success of the existing pilot project. So now that the pilot program is being discontinued, the tables and chairs here that were put as a way to extend the sidewalk will be taken away. Also, this angled parking that you see here behind me will be changed back to parallel parking. While reporting this story, one pedestrian commented to me that the city should keep the changes through the summer, when a great majority of people will see them. But on the other hand, one business owner told me the changes caused many traffic backups and even traffic accidents. Parlay social manager Jonathan Goshorn says extending the sidewalks may have slowed traffic, but it allowed more people to walk down the street in a safer manner.
People tend to come down kind of quick down Short Street, and that slowed them down, which is kind of essential when you have a lot of people on foot.
City officials say once the courthouse project is complete, they may revisit Short Street.
They have the best intentions in mind, so we'll just see what they come up with.
In Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
The benches, the tables, chairs, and the planters were left over from the Lexington Parks and Recreation Department. The city spent about $183,000 on the pilot project.
It appears some big changes are coming to some property near the corner of Winchester and New Circle Roads in Lexington. That property includes the old Spencerian College building and the site of the former Continental Inn. It's been empty for years, but Troy Turner and his father plan to redevelop the site of the Spencerian College building into something that can be home to multiple new tenants. The Turners plan to break ground on the project in the next month or so.
A train that derailed at the Louisville Zoo nearly 7 years ago is now being auctioned online. Nearly 24 people were injured in the derailment. The train hasn't been used since, and the zoo has since bought a new train. Louisville city officials say the auction will help pay the costs that new train has incurred. Bidding begins at $10,000, and the train is being sold as is. City officials admit they don't know the train's current operating condition.
A team of Lexington firefighters will hit the basketball court for a fellow firefighter battling cancer. Lexington firefighter Matt Logston was diagnosed last month. He's being treated in Chicago. Lexington firefighter Kyle Branham says UK Athletics offered to let a team of firefighters play at Rupp Arena for 5 minutes during halftime of tomorrow night's UK game against Tennessee. Nike's even making special jerseys for the firefighters. Branham says they'll use their time to show their support for Logsdon.
Good to have you with us this morning. It is coming up on 4:40 on WKYT, and we are just getting started.
Want your baby to become an avid reader? Moms Everyday shares what reading materials to stock up on when we return.
We have a few flurries so far in northern Kentucky, but a warm-up is on the way. I'll have that in your latest forecast coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Looking across the way, and finally, no snow to talk about in the forecast. No accumulating snow. You look northbound, though. Look at this, a little piece of energy rolling on through. This is giving us the opportunity to see a couple of flakes, a couple of flurries. Now, none of this is going to be accumulating, so don't expect any of this to cause any issues. But, yeah, you can get a little clip there in Williamstown and Falmouth as you work your way northbound across 75 and also 27. Those are areas that's going to be seeing a few flakes flying on by. Grant, Pendleton County, you guys are going to be the talk about counties here within the next 30 to 45 minutes. After that, then we're heading over toward Bracken County and also Harrison. It'll dive south and southeast. So here's your hour-by-hour forecast. Cloudy skies this morning. You will have a couple of flakes, a couple of flurries, especially north of I-64. But nothing to worry about, nothing that's going to cover those roads. Heading in toward noontime, still with the cloudy skies, and we may get a couple of peaks of sunshine as we travel off into the afternoon. 38 degrees is what we're going to be calling for. Then we go off into the night and into tomorrow morning. Don't really drop that much, right around 31 tomorrow morning. Here's today's talkers, what everybody will be talking about. No doubt about it, no more accumulating snow, at least for the next few days. We head towards your weekend. We're talking 50s and 60s, not just 60 degrees, not 61. I mean, it gets into the mid-60s later on this weekend. Some really nice weather on the way, and especially heading in toward the weekend, it's something you can enjoy because you can just relax and kind of enjoy these types of temperatures. But next week, we're not out of the woods just yet. Looking at our next system, and our next system will come Tuesday off into Wednesday. Bill Bryant's yelling at me, stop, I don't want to hear about it. I don't either, man. I'm just a messenger, okay? Here's your 7-day forecast. A couple of flurries today. Then we hit Thursday and Friday. Those 2 days look really good, especially on that Friday. Then look towards your weekend. Yeah, those are really, really nice temperatures. But there you go, heading in toward next week. Now, it's a long ways away, okay? We're not going to really talk about that much, but yeah, we're just not out of the woods just yet. Just keep it that way, buddy. Hey, the next few days, off into your weekend, those days look amazing. We just got to get through, a couple of flurries, a couple of flakes today, but it's minimal considering where we have been the past several days. It was 9 days straight of at least a snow flake falling in some areas. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was a mess.
We'll focus on the improvements, and that other we'll just
we'll leave that alone.
All right. Coming up on 4:46 on WKYT, it's not so much about what kind of books that you read to your baby, it's just that he or she is read to.
Okay, here's more in today's Mom's Everyday Minute.
A family visit to the library or a bookstore can be a bit overwhelming. With thousands of books to choose from, how do you know what's appropriate for your child? Here's a guideline.
When you're picking out books for your child, you're going to want to, first of all, think about their age, where they are. If you've got those real little ones, birth to around 18 months, stick with the board books. If you can pick up some cloth books or plastic books, books that can get chewed on and spilled on and used in the bathtub, those are the best for those little tiny ones. For the little ones, you're going to want to look for books that have big, simple pictures, something that talks kind of about their day or something that they would recognize as something they would see that you can talk about with them. Bright colors, anything that's going to catch their eye. As they get a little bit older, more into those toddler years, that's when you're going to want to start getting a little more text in a book. You're going to want to get rhyming words. We use something called the 5-finger rule. And what that does, if you open to a random page and you have your child start reading, as they come to words they don't know, have them put a finger up. And as they get to those 4 or 5 words they don't know, that book might be a little bit hard for your child. If they're excited about it and they want to read it anyway, let them read it.
Remember, it's not so important what your child is reading, just that he or she is reading. For more ways to make mom's life easier, visit momseveryday.com.
For these tips and more, go to WKYT.com. Click on Moms Every Day.
Time this morning is 4:47. We have considerable fog out there, so keep that in mind and plan accordingly. WKYT this morning on the air with the latest.
A decision to fill the vacant seat in the Supreme Court creating a political war. We'll take a closer look when WKYT This Morning returns.
Hey, welcome back in and good morning to you. WKYT this morning on the air. It's 4:50, 10 till 5. Senate Republicans are vowing to block anyone who President Obama nominates to the U.S. Supreme Court after its current longest-serving justice died.
Justice Antonin Scalia passed away in Texas during a hunting trip. This was Saturday. As Weijia Zhang reports, the unexpected vacancy is now at the center of a political war.
Justice Antonin Scalia's bench and chair at the Supreme Court are draped in black to honor his service to the country. Scalia will lie in repose in the court Friday and will be laid to rest Saturday.
Condolences to the Scalia family.
President Obama says he will nominate a replacement in due time.
We're going to find somebody who has an outstanding legal mind, somebody who cares deeply about our democracy and cares about rule of law.
An Obama nomination has now become a major talking point on the presidential campaign trail.
Our next president is going to choose not just a replacement for Justice Scalia, but at least 2 other Supreme Court justices possibly.
Senate Republicans led by Majority Leader Mitch McConnell are insisting they will block any nomination because they say the next president should be the one to decide.
I intend to do my job between now and January 20th of 2017. I expect them to do their job as well.
Chris Edelson is a constitutional scholar and professor at American University.
Senate Republicans don't have to do anything.
He says Republicans are within their right, but it could backfire politically.
Again, it could play into this theme, Republicans as obstructionists. This isn't the first time this happened. Government shutdown, debt ceiling.
At least one conservative Republican agrees. North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis says his colleagues are falling into the Democrats' obstructionist trap. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
Kentucky Senator Rand Paul is among the Republicans who could block the president's nomination for the Supreme Court. And during a town hall meeting in Allen County yesterday, Senator Paul said the president can nominate anyone he wants, but he made it clear he likely won't approve that person.
From my perspective, and from the perspective of representing Kentucky, it's going to be hard for me to approve of an appointment that would go against everything that Kentucky needs.
Hours after Justice Scalia died on Saturday, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell of Kentucky said the next justice should not be nominated until there is a new president next year. Contentious battle there.
Yeah, definitely.
4:53 the time, and coming up, a look at some of the news stories that we're working on for you this morning.
We'll also have a look at your morning forecast.
Hey, good morning. Welcome back in. WKYT this morning is on the air. It is 4:56, moving in on the 5 o'clock hour.
Yeah, so we hope your Wednesday's off to a great start. It's time to now look at some of the stories we're working on.
And coming up at 5, Lexington police say an overnight crash has forced a road closure this morning. The accident happened about 1:30 this morning at the corner of Fontaine and Irvin. Police say a driver swerved off of the road and hit a pole. Nobody was injured, but Kentucky Utilities had to come out. They've been installing a new pole, and while crews work to get that new pole up, they have temporarily closed Fontaine between McDowell and Irvin roads. So keep that in mind there just as you approach Chevy Chase.
Let's get a look at what's happening right now with the weather with Micah.
Yeah, and we have a couple of flurries to the north. And those flurries, a couple of flakes, not a big issue. Yeah, you can have them come down at a good clip for about a minute or two, and that's about it. So don't expect anything actually falling on the ground and sticking and causing any issues. The big picture here is that system has moved on out, and we're looking at the back edge of this, sliding on through. A couple of flurries are possible, but like I said, no big issues for today. 32 degrees now in Frankfort. We're at 33 in London. There is some patchy, dense fog out and about. There's no dense fog advisory, so it's not widespread, but some patchy fog here and there, as you can see there in Lexington. That's not a bad picture. That's the fog that camera actually sees, which our camera is about 60 feet off the ground. Here's an hour-by-hour forecast. We get into your afternoon. The temperature's in the 30s, but it's your last day in the 30s for quite some time. I'll show you a really good-looking forecast coming up with another 2 hours of WKYT News.